Okay, the next thing we need to do to this portrait is add some punch to it. It's just kind of flat, and we can make it look a lot better by boosting some contrast and adding some saturation. Now, again, this is another spot where there are some plugins that I use that wouldn't be fair just to show you, but I'll mention them. Nick Software of Avisa, that does it really easy, and you can add different effects just to different areas, as well as on one software. When I use the photo tools, there are some filters in there that can easily add some punch. But you don't have that, and this is a Photoshop tutorial, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by adding a curves layer. And the dialog comes up here. If you have an earlier version like Photoshop CS3, and another window will probably open up, but it's pretty handy to have this in CS5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in these sliders just a little bit on either end, so you can see I'm bringing it down from 255 to 249, and this one from 0 to 6. You can see it's added a little bit of contrast already. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make an S curve. Just drag this point somewhere in here and pull it down. It's going to make it the dark spots darker. Come up here, and you can make the bright spots brighter. Okay, and just going off and on, we did quite a bit of good. Now you can also change the layer properties here, and I believe what I want is overlay. Nope, that's not what I want. Soft light. There we go. And then I'm going to just reduce the layer opacity to get somewhere where I like it. Probably bring it down just a little bit more. And you could try different settings and see, you know, just go through and see what you like, what's going to work and what's not going to work. It doesn't hurt to try. You can always go back. But I think we're going to stick with overlay. And again, it doesn't need to be that powerful, so I'm going to come back down. And now you also have the layer mask. Click on the brush with the black, and at a reduced opacity of 30%, I'm just going to color in a few of the areas that are dark that don't need to be so dark, because you can be too dark in that. Alright, so how did we do? That's quite a bit better. It has more punch to it. Maybe even too much, but we'll take it down a little bit better, but it's still much better than this flat picture here. Okay, the next thing we can add is a hue and saturation layer. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hit the wrong button on accident. Layer button right here. And hue and saturation. Bring the saturation up just a little bit. That's all you need. A little bit of difference, but not a ton. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and flatten those layers now. Layer, flatten. Where I would like to boost some saturation is right in here. I'm going to go and find my saturation tool, my sponge tool, sorry, set to saturate as opposed to desaturate, flow of 30, and I'm going to make sure I have a soft brush. Hardness of 0, so that's good. And so I'm just going to start coloring in there. Alright, and I think that looks quite a bit better than where we were a little bit earlier. And we started, let's say we started here with this tutorial and we ended up there. I think that's a pretty good jump.